from Los Angeles. I'm Alex Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning. How are we doing this Friday, guys?
Good morning, Alex. Good morning. We're doing great.
So is Tom Brady, because last night somewhere in Tampa Bay, he was saying, yep, I told you so.
Oh, really?
Yep, I told you so, Shannon.
How was that bye week after a loss?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
Here we go. We saw last night.
We did, and let's get started with last night's game because the Rams got revenge for their Super Bowl 53 loss to the Patriots in a big way, but this time it was LA who held New England to only 3 points while the Rams also racked up nearly 200 rushing yards. Now, Cam Newton threw for just 119 yards and had a pick six. Then he was benched for Jarrett Stidham in the fourth quarter. So, Shannon, what did last night tell you about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady?
Well, it told me last night what everybody already knew is that the two guys were better together, but they wanted to be apart. Skip, look, Coach Belichick is not a bad coach because his team lost last night. They really needed to punch that ball in. I don't understand why they so early in the ball game, Skip. They didn't kick a field goal. They wanted to go for it on fourth down. And it wasn't like it was fourth and a foot. It was a fourth and like 2 or 3 yards. So I was surprised that they did that. But Coach Belichick, if you look at Coach Belichick over the last 5 games, he was 4-1 heading into that ball game. Tom Brady had lost 3 of his last 4. And he was 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 62% completion with a 38-3 loss in there to New Orleans. And so he could have easily been benched, and no one would have thought had a second thought about it. But when you look at it, and it's quick to say, well, Cam do this and Cam. But I thought this team was devoid of talent last year. That was one of the reasons why Tom Brady wanted to leave. So if it was devoid of talent this year, they didn't restock the cupboard with any talent.
No.
So I'm confused. I'm really confused by this, Skip. Because and I'm looking at it. Tom Brady has all this talent, and he's thrown more interceptions with more talent than he's thrown over the last 2 or 3 years. So what does that say about him?
Well, I'm confused because Bill Belichick did not upgrade any of the talent anywhere on either side of the football. Help me out.
Did Coach Belichick tell you he had no money? Did he tell you he didn't have no money?
Personally or salary cap money? I don't know.
He said salary cap money. Look, we knew going into this game, Skip, this is the way the Patriots win ball games. They get non-offensive touchdowns because they're challenged. So they get a scoop and score, they get a pick six, they get a kick return, punt return touchdowns, or they get short fields. If they have to consistently drive the ball down the field with that talent, it's going to be hard for them to score. That's why it was very important for them last night, Skip. That first drive was their best drive, and they needed to punch that in. If they punch that in, Skip, I'm not going to say they'll win the ball game, but we might have a different. We're like, oh man, that was a good ball. That was a good game. But Skip, they can't protect. I mean, they had 23 pass attempts. They gave up 6 sacks on 23 pass attempts. And then you couldn't run the football. So if you can't run the football, you can't throw the football, I don't understand how you expect to win. Now, Jared Goff, kept him in the game because if he throws the ball out front, it's a first down. He throws it behind, it's a pick. So I don't have a whole lot of confidence in him.
Have you seen that movie before?
Yes, we've seen that movie a lot of times before. And Sean McVay's like, I need to stop seeing it, or are you going to see this movie where you're on the bench? So for me, Skip, I didn't learn anything that I didn't already know going into the ball game. Coach Belichick and Tom Brady were great as a couple. But somebody wanted to be in their own movie. Somebody wanted to go it alone. Well, both of these guys wanted to go it alone. And one guy, Coach Belichick team doesn't have talent. He's doing all the shopping. That's his fault. He let it get like this.
That is a fact.
There's no one else to blame but Coach Belichick. He let it get like this. Tom is happy in his situation, but he's not playing as well as a lot of people thought he would. So together they were better. Apart, we're starting to see they probably should have stayed better, but no one would have been happy.
Okay. So I want to remind everybody that with basically this same talent or lack thereof a year ago, Tom Brady on the final regular season Sunday at New England had this team in position to be the 2 seed in the AFC. He went down and did what he always does in the fourth quarter, almost always, and he scored a touchdown on a long drive that put them ahead by 4 points. And here came, guess who? Fitzmagic against the vaunted defense of Bill Belichick, and Fitzmagic drove the Dolphins 75 yards in 13 plays, including a buzzer beater to Gesicki from 5 yards to win the game with a touchdown, not a field goal. They needed to score 7, and they did. And that knocked, obviously, the Patriots out of the 2 seed. So that's what Tom accomplished. And I made the case that he did more with the least he's ever done last year in New England, his final year, obviously, in New England. For me, last night, Bill Belichick got exposed once and for all as a team builder, not as a coach, as a team builder, as the GM of this team, as the president, as the man with the purse strings. He does it all. He shops for all the groceries. And that team last night was overmatched by a far more talented football team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'm missing a game in my memory, but I don't remember a Bill Belichick team getting so dominated in both lines of scrimmage, in the trenches on both sides, by the Rams' offensive line and then by the Rams' defensive line. They just flat out got manhandled on both sides.
They did.
Because they basically got run off the field, 186 total yards rushing. And that kid, Cam Akers, second-round pick out of Florida State, rookie, wears a great number, the original 23.
Oh, LeBron, huh?
No, he's a Jordan guy, I'm sure. He says, I'm the new Jordan, right?
I think he said Bron.
He's got some of the sweetest feet you will see in a running back. I love that kid. He's growing on me by the step. Okay, so they got that going for them because they got lots of weapons on offense, obviously. And they actually have a tight end named Tyler Higbee who barely played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. He was out there, but he didn't get any targets or had no catches. But New England doesn't even have a single tight end. They went from Rob Gronkowski, the GOAT tight end, to help me out. They had one rookie tight end get one target last night and catch none of it, the kid from UCLA.
Right.
Okay? So help me out. Ryan Izzo's on IR now, and he was all you had. They have nothing. And seriously, I truly believe if Tom Brady were watching that game last night, that he felt sorry for Cam Newton because nobody can relate better to that situation than Tom can. And again, it's a quarterback's sort of fraternity, and he would just sit and shake his head at what Cam was up against last night. Because Aaron Donald, I've been hard on him on the show occasionally, he was good last night. He flashed for me because he had a couple of rushes that were just sensational. And he got away with one grab of the running back on Cam's pick six. So I can't completely pin it on Cam. Because Aaron Donald just reached out and grabbed, if we can see, he just grabs the running back. Again, is it an ill-advised throw? Do you have to make sure your running back's going to come clear on that?
Yeah, you probably want to just throw that at his feet.
You just,
And let's go back. Let it be second down and let it be third down.
So Aaron Donald got away with one, and it should have been, let's play on, let's live to tell about another play. Okay, but it goes pick six the other way. And yet, to me, for Cam Newton, it came down to, I get what you're saying about you go for it on the fourth down, but it got to late in the half, they're down 17-0. It got to 4th and 2 Patriots at the Rams' 11-yard line. And this is the turning point in the game to me. Are you going to go for it? Well, Bill Belichick has lost so much faith, I believe, in Cam, so much belief, so much trust, that he said, no, we'll take the field goal and go into halftime 17-3 down. And it just felt like it's teetering on oblivion here. You better just go for this.
Well, Skip, for me, I thought they did it backwards. I thought the beginning they should have took the field goal and then maybe go for it on this one because you had to skip. I mean, if you think about it, they were running the football. Cam had some good passes, and I'm like, okay, this thing about to be a ball game. We about to have something here. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, surely Coach Belichick's not going to go for it this early in the ball game. And Lord, Skip, what was that play though? Was Cam supposed to run it? Was he supposed to pitch it? I mean, what was that play?
Well, the problem is it got immediately blown up by the penetration because he had nowhere to go. Or no, they took the pitch man was covered. So what are you going to do? He just was like, I'm dead. I fold. Like, you got me, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So I did not like any of the play calls. Again, if you had a Tom Brady or a quarterback who's more gifted at throwing the football, you would have thrown one of those 4 plays, but they went 4 straight plays with no creativity, no sort of illusion or no.
And 2 of them, the quarterback ran the ball.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, here we come. So this offense has degenerated slowly but surely into Cam or bust running the football. And I have seen him slowly but surely, what is he? He's aged 31 years of age. Yep, 31. I have seen him lose the ability over time this year to impose his physical will on a defense because it's just too much pounding.
Yeah.
He pounded away at the Dolphins in the opener, and that was really good. He ran for 75 yards. Remember that? And then he got COVID, and he was out for effectively, because they had their bye week, 3 weeks.
Right.
And he came back against San Francisco at home, and he ran it really well. He had 76 yards rushing. Those were his 2 big rushing. So look at the whole year. He's only 3 carries behind Lamar Jackson for most carries of a quarterback, right? But his yards per carry have dwindled all the way under 4 yards, which ranks 17th among quarterbacks.
Yeah, the thing is, when you have a quarterback, Skip, especially like Cam, and he's we consider a running quarterback, that needs to be 6 yards, 7 yards a carry.
Have to.
Because it's not like he's running it 30 times a game.
Yep.
And so if you look at Lamar, you look at his yards per carry. You look at Kyler, what his yards per carry is. Cam needs to be